Welcome to the Real Life Weight Loss Podcast, where we cut through the confusion and get down to the truth about what really works for real people when it comes to losing weight, having incredible health, and a body that you love. We believe that losing weight is really about gaining life, doing things you never thought you could, having renewed confidence, and enjoying your body more than ever. I'm your host, Corey Little. Now let's get to it. Hello and welcome back. This is episode number 308, and today we're talking about what might very well be the thing that's caused you to quit over and over. So if you're someone who struggled to lose weight in the past, maybe you've started and tried really hard but wound up giving up, quitting, failing, whatever word you want to use, there are things that cause that to happen. And today we're going to talk about one of the things that you may not even be thinking about, but it could be the very thing that is causing you to go down that unfortunate road again and again and again. Okay, so that's what today's episode is about. But first, I want to encourage all of you to scroll down to the show notes. Be sure before you wrap this episode up, before you jump to your next podcast, to check out all of the cool free stuff I have for you there. I have a lot of free resources for you. You can also schedule a time to watch my anti-diet class to learn more about my Inner Circle coaching group. And there's also some other links there for Rise nutritional supplements. Okay. Now, let's move forward with this. So, what is the thing, right? What is this thing that's causing me to quit over and over and over again? Well, I'm going to share it with you, but promise you're going to hang around, because when I first share it, you may go, well, yeah, Corey, that's a no-duh thing. Or you may go, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't even know if that makes sense. But hang with me. We're going to bring it all together. I promise it's going to make sense. The thing that's causing us to quit, to give up over and over and over again, is unrealistic expectations, which could also be called idealized expectations, which could also be called a kind of sneaky version of perfectionism, which could also be called just not factoring in real life, because we idealize things and we have these expectations that are just almost unreachable in some ways. Think about it, guys. We all do it in some area of life. We get all excited. And then when it comes to weight loss, we decide like we're finally going to get serious about this, right? Like I'm finally going to do it. And since we're finally getting serious, well, of course, we can make massive progress really fast. And of course, we can have a body like we see on the front of a magazine. Or maybe like some Instagram fitness influencer, right? Of course we can do that, because we are finally at a place in our life where we're going to stop pussyfooting around. We're going to quit playing around. We're going to quit giving ourselves excuses, and we are really going to do this. And then we get started. Full throttle. Let's go. And then 5 days into it, we're tired, sore, hungry, and we're ready to cuss. We're ready to say bad words because we've been killing it. We've been working so hard, but we really can't tell much of a difference. And this sucks, right? I mean, how long is this going to take? I've been killing it. I eat a salad every day for lunch. Well, the reality is we want a microwave body. Zip, zap, done, right? We want to knock it out pretty quick and get back to life. And unfortunately, our body is a lot more like a slow cooker. Actually, it's probably more like fine wine. A fine wine that takes months and months, probably really more like years and years to get to where we want it to be. The problem is that most people don't realize they have these unrealistic expectations. And then to make matters worse, a lot of so-called fitness experts in the entire weight loss industry, they certainly don't want to tell you otherwise. They don't want to go, hey, listen, slow down there. You're not going to convert into some superhero in the next 8 weeks. No. They're going to sell you that. Hey, let me show you all these amazing before and after pictures. Let me show you what you can do in 8 weeks or in 12 weeks or in whatever. They don't want to tell you otherwise. They don't want to slow you down. They don't want to, and some of you may be thinking, well, Corey, this is so discouraging. Why would you tell me I can't achieve these things? Because I want to promise you the truth. And if you'll listen throughout this whole episode, I promise you I'm not discouraging you. I want to set you up for incredible long-term success. I tell people all the time in my coaching group, I don't care nearly as much about what you weigh 6 weeks from now as I do 6 months from now and 6 years from now. I want you to get off the diet roller coaster, right? So the fitness experts, some of them, not all of them, and most of the weight loss industry, they don't want to tell you to hold your horses. They don't want to They don't want to rein in your unrealistic expectations. They just want to keep you excited and fire up your motivation even more. And some of it is maybe well-meaning, right? Like we all love to be motivated and to be excited together. But let's say some of them just want to keep you excited and even more motivated, and then take your money and give you a program and then wish you luck. Everything about this is unrealistic. The expectations we have when we're starting are unrealistic. The plan to change our entire life all at once is totally unrealistic. The idea that we can do all of this stuff by ourselves is unrealistic. Make all of these changes and overcome the mental and physical programming that we've been ingraining for years and years and years and years, not to mention the inevitable hurdles and challenges like that we'll face along the way. Oh, we'll just tackle all of that and we'll have our dream body. That's unrealistic. And then when the crap hits the fan and we mess up, or we start to doubt, or we start to really struggle and we don't feel that motivation and excitement anymore, well, we feel like a failure, don't we? Because this isn't how it's supposed to be, is it? I mean, this is a sign that I'm doing something bad or wrong. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't be losing my motivation. I shouldn't be struggling. This must be a sign that I'm not doing good enough and that I'm about to do the same crap that I always do. Give up and quit. I mean, that's it, isn't it, Corey? Am I right? No, I'm sorry, you're not. Once again, it's just a big bundle of unrealistic, idealized expectations. And part of that bundle is that we don't expect or hope for consistency. Nah, we expect perfection. We get those two intertwined and mixed up all the time. I know what happens in a lot of people's brains. I say the word consistent, and their brain hears perfect. You must be perfect. You can't mess up. You must be perfect enough to get results. And if you do mess up, it better be a really small thing. Otherwise, well, you know the drill. You've already ruined the whole week, so you better just start fresh on Monday. Can somebody give me an amen and say all or nothing? Because that's exactly what so many of us do. When it comes to that whole gotta be perfect, so you need to start fresh on Monday mindset, nothing could be further from the truth. I encourage my clients to be what I call imperfectly consistent. Look, gang, let's dive into this whole consistency word here, right? Because it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and it's something that I believe we have a poor understanding of. Consistency just means you're making changes to a certain part of your life, your day, your week, and you're doing it on a regular basis. You're making a few changes and maintaining those changes without totally reverting back to what you would normally do in the past. In my coaching program, in my Live Life, Lose Fat program, we have a specific structure for how we help people set this up so that they know exactly what their goals are for that specific week. It eliminates overwhelm and it gives them tremendous clarity. And this is so important. Oh my gosh, clarity. Because without clarity, you're either just confused or constantly guessing and checking, and your focus is scattered all over the place. Okay, speaking of focus, I need to focus because I could do an entire episode on that. So to be crystal clear, consistency does not mean perfection. Otherwise, this is yet one more unrealistic, idealized expectation you'll have as you attempt to change your body. Consistency is just making something an ongoing part of life. Think of it with working out, right? Maybe you say, okay, I want to get started working out, and you find some workout that you like from somebody online or on YouTube, and you go, okay, I'm going to work out 4 days per week. That's my goal. But what if you only do 3? Is that failure? I mean, you weren't perfect, right? You only did 3. So does that mean you're no longer consistent? You failed. You might as well just stop and just wait and start fresh next month. Well, no, Corey, I only missed 1. Okay, well, what if you missed 2? What if you only did 2 workouts that week? You went from doing no workouts previously to setting up a goal and a plan to do 4 workouts per week, and you did that for the first 2 weeks, and then you had a really busy week and you were stressed and you only got 2 workouts. Is that a failure? What if it was an even crazier week than that and you had to travel and you were super stressed and family was visiting and then you only got 1 workout? Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. Yes, I need to find a different workout strategy. I need to do better. I need to have more discipline, and I should just start fresh next month because this is obviously terrible. Or we can go, you know what? Let's see. Okay. I did 4 workouts the first week. I did 4 workouts the second week. And this week I only got 1 in and life was crazy. And yeah, I'm not real happy about that, but let me think. I did, over the past 3 weeks, I've done 9 workouts. So in reality, that averages out to be 3 workouts per week. And previous to that, man, I was not doing any workouts. So really, overall, I'm being way more consistent than I've ever been. Is it perfect? No. But it is consistent. Can you see this? But it's so hard sometimes to see this when it comes to our nutrition and whatever diet it is that we're trying to follow. So please hear me out. When it comes to consistency, I would love for you to start thinking of consistency as just the opposite of all or nothing. All or nothing says if it's not perfect, then stop. You got to stop and start again when you can be perfect. Consistency, on the other hand, says keep going even if it's not perfect or exactly what you thought it would be. Or if it just seems messy, that's okay. That's part of life. Just keep going. Mess up, move on. Don't mess up and quit and then start fresh on Monday. No, dear God, folks, don't we all know by now how that goes? Okay, so let's circle back around to the original central point here. What is one of the biggest and sneakiest things that causes us to quit over and over and over again? It's unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations when it comes to how we think things will go. Unrealistic expectations when it comes to what we think or hope the process will look like. Kind of the Pinterest version versus the real life version. Unrealistic expectations when it comes to the results that we hope to achieve or we want to achieve or we think we can achieve. We probably don't even realize it, but we have these idealized, like super high expectations, and then we just forget to factor in real life. I don't know you, but I'm willing to bet that you're a mom or you're a dad. Maybe you have kids and a million responsibilities. And you might get sick and feel like crap for 4 or 5 days amongst all of this. Or you might have travel plans that you haven't even thought about when you started this new fitness program or journey. And you have that dear friend or relative that you love so much who's coming to visit for a long weekend. And I mean, you don't want to just be on a diet when they're here, right? You want to enjoy yourself and take them out to dinner and have coffee and dessert. And maybe you have aging parents who need your help once every few weeks. And oh yeah, you also work. Let's not forget about that. You have a career and a boss, or maybe you own a business and you have all the stress and joy and headaches that come with that. And let's not forget the super important fact of life that most of us just don't want to admit, and it's that we don't always feel motivated. We don't always want to work out or eat right. And then there are holidays coming up, and now you're no longer sick, but now your kids are sick. And you know what? Let's just be real. Some days you're just freaking tired. Maybe you didn't sleep that good the night before. Maybe you did sleep good and you don't even know why, but you're just tired and you don't feel like doing anything. And now here your parents are asking when you can come visit and have dinner with them, and the list and life goes on and on and on and on. My friends, that is just real. That is life. Yet, we set out on some grand fitness journey somehow. Everybody does this every January. You guys know it's true, right? We set out on this grand fitness journey somehow totally forgetting all of that stuff that I just mentioned, and then we idealize things and we form crazy unrealistic expectations. And if that doesn't cause us to get frustrated and give up and quit before we ever get results because there's such a disparity between what we expected this would look like and what it really looks like, it's kind of like marriage or kids, right? You watch too many romantic comedies and you just think, oh my gosh, we're going to ride off into the sunset and it's going to be amazing. And marriage can be amazing, but there are ups and downs. It's the same with kids, right? We can idealize those things, or we can realize they are real and there are ups and downs to it all. So if that doesn't happen, if we don't quit before we ever get results, just because there's this huge gap between what we think it should look like and how it really happens in real life, if that doesn't happen, well, then something almost kind of worse happens. We stick with it long enough to get results. Wait a minute, Corey. How can that be bad, dude? Because once we get the results, we're so freaking disappointed. Because our results don't look like what we thought they would. Our results don't match what our brain said should happen way back when we first started. You lost 11 pounds and your clothes are starting to fit a little better and you have more energy and you're consistently getting in exercise every week and it just so happens you had your yearly physical and your blood pressure's better and your blood sugar has improved and everything looks great and your doctor is fired up. But not you. You're so frustrated and disappointed because you really don't feel like you look any different. I mean, your stomach still seems just as fat. And you can't see any muscle definition anywhere on your body. And you still just feel fat overall. Isn't that how we feel sometimes? Oh, I've been working so hard and I can't see any change. At this moment, the very moment when you should feel so amazing at what all you've accomplished and how you're changing your life and your body, at the very moment, you feel the total opposite. Frustrated, disappointed, and almost kind of defeated. Why? Say it with me. Unrealistic expectations. It's because we start this journey and we have so many unrealistic and idealized expectations. So what are we going to do about it? Well, here's my suggestion. It's 3 things. Ask, assess, adjust. Matter of fact, you can use this with just about anything, any area of life that's not working for you or where you continue to struggle or you just want to make changes. So let's look specifically at how it works for unrealistic expectations with weight loss, okay? First, ask. You need to ask yourself some probing investigative questions. And I'll provide some for this particular topic, right? This particular area that we've been discussing. When I think back on past weight loss attempts, even if I didn't consciously do it or realize it at the time, did I have unrealistic or idealized expectations of how it would go or the results I would get? Do I default to a start fresh Monday mentality whenever I mess up? If I get really honest, and that's, by the way, that's something you should start every one of these questions with because we are masters at lying to ourselves or slanting the truth in a way to kind of not see the stuff that we don't want to see and just make ourselves feel better. So if I get super honest with myself, have I mixed up perfection and consistency? If consistency isn't perfection, then do I really even know what it is and what it looks like for me in my life? Next question. Are my goals and hopes and dreams for what I want my body to look like, are they somewhat unrealistic? And then here's the really important part. Are they unrealistic when I also consider the real life part of this equation? So there's tons of other questions you can ask in relation to this. But the first thing we need to do is ask questions in relation to the area where we're struggling or where we want to improve. And then the second part of this is to assess. Take some time to really think through things and assess. Assess means to evaluate, to analyze, and then determine. Assess if or how this has impacted you. Use the questions I listed, but here's the thing, guys. We live in such a fast-paced society, and so few people are willing to really slow down, think about something, ponder it, journal it, write down notes. So few people are willing to do that, and that's the very thing we need to do if we ever want to have insight. So please, if this is important to you, if you've connected with this, don't just fly by it. Slow down. Think. Maybe even make some notes. Ask a friend or loved one who knows you really well and someone you can trust. Ask them what they think. Ask them some of these questions. Ask them if they feel like they've seen this behavior in you. Send this episode to a friend or a trusted loved one and ask them, hey, listen to this. Do you feel like this has been me in my past weight loss attempts? And then for you, between you and you, maybe wait a few days and ask yourself the questions again with a fresh mindset and review your original notes too. This will be so telling. And then lastly, the third part of this equation is to adjust. Look at what you learned and begin making needed adjustments. Needed adjustments. Come on, Corey. Begin making needed adjustments. For what we've been discussing, it's pretty simple. At least it is on the surface. What adjustments do you need to make? Well, you need to adjust your expectations when it comes to results, and you need to adjust your expectations when it comes to what the process will look like when you factor in real life. But there's so much more than this. There are lots of other adjustments that you could potentially make, but without me actually knowing you and coaching you, I can't help you with those. These are the things that are unique to you and your life and your schedule and your brain and your past attempts, and it's how it all comes together in the day-to-day mix of stuff. Explore that. I can't do it for you. It's between you and you. Explore that. Dig into it. And I'm willing to bet if you dig into it, you'll find some really eye-opening stuff and some jewels along the way. Okay, my friends, I hope this has been helpful. I hope you'll share it with someone. Like I mentioned earlier, share it with someone you love and trust, someone who may be in a similar shoes that you are, or someone who just knows you really well, and get their feedback. You guys discuss it. And I also hope that you'll take advantage of some of the awesome free stuff that I have for you. You can find the links to all of that stuff down in the show notes, or if you're potentially ready to take the next step, have me help coach you along the way, I hope you'll watch my anti-diet class. Schedule a time to watch that. You can do that down in the show notes as well. And then if you feel like it's a good fit, but only if you feel like it's a good fit, you can join what I call my amazing little online family, my private coaching group, where we use my step-by-step Live Life Lose Fat program. And again, all of those links are down in the show notes. Now, let me wrap it up like we always do. Please remember and never forget there's so much more to you than a number. So don't let the scales dominate your headspace or dictate your emotions for the day, because you are so freaking incredible. And I don't care if you weigh 150 or 250 or 350 or 550. It doesn't mean that you're not an amazing, loved human being that has so much incredible stuff to offer this world. And losing weight is amazing. And I know that may be like, wait a minute, dude, you just said the scales don't matter. I didn't say they don't matter. I just said you're so much more than what the scales say. And I love helping people lose weight because it's incredible and it can truly change your life in powerful ways. But here's the thing, losing weight is really all about gaining life and living the life you've always wanted. And that's what I truly love helping people do. And like we talked about in this episode, even if you've tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and quit over and over and over again, it's okay. You may think you can't do it. You may think you don't have what it takes, but I know that you do. I've seen so many people succeed, and you can succeed too. You keep coming back. I'll keep working on you, and we will get you there, my friend. Okay? Okay. Take care, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.